And we're live. Welcome,
Yes.
everybody. Thanks for hopping on with us tonight. We're super excited to be here with you. We have an awesome lineup of things that we're going to talk about. And for those of you that have been in suspense for over a week, Michelle O'Connor is going to be sharing tonight about just a super awesome story and experience that she has graciously been willing to graciously and patiently offered to share with us. So Kristen's gonna do some product training on frankincense. Then
Melissa might be doing some too. Melissa, Are you gonna do some too?
We're gonna talk about frankincense.
Yep.
And then Michelle, you'll be after frankincense. And then we'll talk a little bit more about just some specific business stuff. Then we have a lot of recognition and testimonies, which is awesome. And then we have a lot of announcements as well. A lot of exciting things going on. So if you have questions as we go, feel free to either just jot them down and save them for when we're done recording, or you can just put them right in the chat and we'll get to those at the end.
So for the beginning of our call, I wanted to start with just some really great testimonies. I know in weeks in the past, we've kind of like fluctuated it. Sometimes I'm teaching about the actual product, but with the promos this month, stay tuned because Melissa is going to be going live in the LDC to share some good stuff about Melissa oil, which will be really great. And make sure you tune in, do lots of comments, so lots of people get notifications about it, so lots of people watch it. Because if people don't already have Melissa, they need to get it this month. It's like a no-brainer. Anyways, so specifically what I wanted to talk about with frankincense, I wanted to read some testimonies. Some of them are just interesting ones, not crazy, but they're interesting, and some are incredible. So one is from a lady named Audrey Charba. These are all from the Diamonds and Above page that I'm on and Melissa's on. And she says that they have 2 outside farm dogs who often get small cuts, scrapes, or bites. And she loves to use frankincense for wound care for their dogs. They don't flinch away when she applies it, and it always helps the area to scab over really quickly with no inflammation or redness. So if you have pet lovers on your team, frankincense is a great one to teach them about. And then a lady named Pam Waldron shares that her friend's son used frankincense on her teenage son, who's now an adult, daily because after an ATV accident, he suffered a traumatic brain injury and had seizures at least weekly. After using frankincense, his seizures are less than monthly now, and they're usually induced because of stress. But if they use frankincense during the seizure, he comes out of it quicker and recovers faster.
That's awesome.
Pretty incredible, huh? Frankincense, and I know this is nothing compared to seizures, but we love to use it diluted in a roller bottle for Elliot when he's constantly hitting his head and falling and all the things that boys do. So anyways, because it's great for decreasing inflammation. And so when he hits his head, it's perfect. One lady talked about using a combination of frankincense, rose, and neroli for depression. I thought that was interesting. I had never heard of that combo before, so I thought I'd share that. And then probably the most incredible testimony, I'm going to read the whole thing, and it's kind of a combo of products, but it's for a person that has chronic lymphocytic leukemia. I don't know if you've heard of that before. And she said, my husband had CLL and I made capsules with 4 drops each of frankincense, copaiba, and turmeric. His platelets went from 84,000 to 163,000. So basically they doubled, and his white cells returned to normal. He took the capsules twice a day and now takes them once a day. He has beat cancer twice and a heart attack once. He has never done chemo or radiation. My husband makes capsule holders that hold 50 capsules, so she has to make them every 25 days. Basically, it sounds like they make the capsules and then they freeze them, so it's easier for him to take it. And then the person that shared this testimony said, I didn't even know what this was, but it turns out we have a handful of members on my team with it, and they are now helping each other. hope this helps someone else. And she says she's been obsessively studying all the cancer testimonies coming in from their members and other advocates in doTERRA. And these 3 oils, aka turmeric, copaiba, and frankincense, are all, and plus LLV and DDR prime soft gels, are all in almost every single testimony. And she says, fascinating how you start to see the patterns across the board, no matter what they are battling. And she says again, frankincense, copaiba, turmeric, DDR prime soft gels, LLV. And then she also says the Symphony of the Cells Maxim protocol, which has frankincense, copaiba, and turmeric in it. And then one other person shared that basically, her name's Farah. So this will give you a sneak peek into more of the fun stuff Melissa will share tomorrow, or not tomorrow, sometime this week. She says that she has a team member that has helped 2 adults and 2 children who are in deep, dark, sad places come back to functional from 4 drops of Melissa in a 5 ml roller bottle with fractionated coconut oil. Now they can't imagine life without it. So anyways, hopefully that's inspiring for you all. Just some incredible testimonies of people that were empowered to know how to use oils like Melissa, frankincense, DDR prime, all these incredible oils, and know that all the education that you're doing this month to teach your team about these products, it's going to create ripples like that, and it's going to create more testimonies like that. So anyways, that's our product testimony. And next, Michelle O'Connor is going to share, and I am super excited. You can, Michelle, if you want, you can share kind of a background of where it came from, or where the inspiration came from, if you want.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. So, hey everybody, and so I essentially just did a oil workshop, and it turned into a really cool opportunity. So Kristen and Tyler asked me to talk about it. So this is going to seem really random, but to set it up, I'm just going to share my story. So when I was in my 20s, I had an eating disorder that really controlled my life for about 3 years. And it was really painful. But since then, I went through professional counseling. I refound my faith. I went to church and just a lot of self-development. And so that's been now about 10 years since I've overcome that. But like any addict or anything that you deal with, it never truly goes away. So it's a constant fight. It's just gotten a little easier over time. But I was able to share at our youth group. And then also I've been on a couple of panels at Avera here in Sioux Falls when they did their eating disorder month. A couple of years ago, they had a panel. And I am on a board for Pi Beta Phi sorority down at USD. So I just threw it out there this year and just said, hey, I'd love to do a class if you guys ever wanted to. I'd actually love to tie in oils. And I've never shared my story tied in with oils. But I threw it out there and they wrote back and they said, heck yes. So I went to the sorority I was in college, and did this workshop. And that's what I'm going to just talk to you a little bit about. But we had 16 women that showed up. And then I invited them to a future class that Emily Paulson and I are going to go to on Wednesday of this week. So we actually have, of the 16 women at the workshop, 15 signed up for the class. And I'll talk about what we did for that too. But what I didn't want to do was just come and share my story and say how awesome it was and not give you something that you could like replicate. So I wanted to share how you can do this too. Because I'm guessing not everybody has probably dealt with an eating disorder, but I do believe that sometimes you are allowed to go through really tough things in your life so that you can then share that pain in the hope and be a light to other people. So this actually came from when I was at Marie Cottam, or Marie Vanderzee. She is our team's presidential diamond. So she's like a few people above Kristen and Tyler, right? Just a few. But when I went to her event in June, her sister-in-law, Anita, first planted this seed in my mind. And she is a recovering addict because they always say that you're always recovering. So she was an addict, and she now goes into rehab and treatment centers and shares her story along with essential oil classes. And for her, that's been like her people group, and that's been huge for her business. So what I wanted to try was like, how could this work for oils? How could I share my story and share what I believe I was called to do, telling people about God, and using oils to do that and sharing the story that I've gone through. So I wrote down a few quotes. One of them that Anita said was, we're not just selling oils, we're developing people. So using our purpose to really help people. Another quote I wanted to share was that sometimes our purpose stems from our deepest pain. So just being vulnerable, because we haven't all gone through what I have, but I do believe that you probably have gone through some really tough times in your life, and that could be like a diamond in the rough that you could use to share for your business. So essentially I have 4 parts to what I did, and I wanted to share my screen here really quick. Now I'll show you. So I put together this workshop, and I essentially just went in and I connected with them. So number 1, I had to build rapport. And for me, it was a little bit easy because I was in that sorority like not that long ago, like 18 years ago. So it was easy to build that common connection, but I showed some old college photos and just got a few laughs, commented on style, my sweet flare leg jeans that are like now back in style. But then I shared my story, and the key to sharing like a testimonial is that you keep it brief, because you don't want to like dwell in the past. You really want to get through that muck. You want to like help them relate, but you then want to move forward. So then the biggest part was the education. And I just put together a little workshop, and I used an onion. I don't really know why, but I just thought, we're layered, we're complicated. As women, sometimes we make people cry. So I used this onion, and I talked a lot about how for me in my journey, I had to find my identity, and that was really in Christ, but it was also like just in Christ was the main thing. And then it was then those beliefs that I was telling myself. So we did a worksheet, and then we ended it with like self-care. So I said, hey, and while you're caring for your body and your positive body image, a big part of that is self-care. So that's where I got into the future opportunities. So it was connecting, sharing your story, then the education portion, and then, oh no, Kristen, I just looked at my stopwatch. I'm almost done.
You're great. No stress.
And then it was, okay. And then it was, I just ended it by saying, hey, we talked about self-care, and I want to give you a chance to do some of that tonight. So I brought my essential oils. I actually used doTERRA, and then there was like a cheer, which was really cool. And we did these rollers. I just wanted to keep it simple. So I did 3 options. I said, hey, we're going to do calming, uplifting, or balancing. And I used lavender, citrus bliss, and balance. Hands down, the most popular one on that college campus. We made 33 rollers, and I think like 30 of them were balance. So you can tell what is like going on in their lives. But we did that, and then I offered a brevi for somebody that would step up and host. And I did have some contingencies on there. There will have to be 2 enrollments and so on. But I had a gal that sprinted up to me and wanted to host. So that was a really sweet deal. And for me, I usually don't do that host offer, but I see a lot of potential in this group, and I think I could have some potential builders in that group. So I really wanted to go big and make it happen. But yeah, so that's what I offered, and I just shared my story and used that to tie into oils. So, and I will stop that. So that's it.
That is so good. And for everybody that's here, obviously at the end of the call, Michelle will still be on. And if you have like more questions and you want to hear more about certain details of what she did, she'll answer those. But that's incredible, Michelle. I love what you said about taking the places of our life that have been broken in the past and using that as a platform to speak into other people's lives that have also experienced that. Yeah. That's incredible. Yeah, love it.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm. So the next thing that we wanted to, since this call, we're talking about a lot of different things and we have a lot of recognition to go through, which is really important. It's important to celebrate the incredible things that are happening on our team right now and celebrate them together. Because I promise you guys, as we celebrate together and as we continue to lean into doing the consistent steps and following what Elise is teaching in those daily mentor calls, like, the recognitions are just going to increase, and the ranks and the whatever, blah, 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 they're just going to increase, and our calls are just going to get bigger, and it's going to be amazing. Like, I already feel the momentum. So anyways, what we wanted to talk about today is just like brief, but a really good reminder about the importance of membership overviews. So this is kind of recognition right now, but I want to know if you've enrolled somebody in the last month who already has either done a membership overview or has some in the books already. Yeah. Okay. Give yourself a pat on the back, because doing that is building your pipeline, building residual income, and it's like empowering people. I've shared this before, but when I first started my doTERRA business with Melissa, she knows, all of the first people I enrolled, I was like an enrolling machine. It was incredible, but it wasn't incredible because none of them are on LRP. They didn't even know how to log in. Like, it was awful, terrible. Their oils probably just sat there, which is really unfortunate. So way to go, you guys. Proud of you. I wanted to do some just like really like nitty-gritty practicals. A lot of you might know this, but hopefully I'll share something that's helpful. And if you hear something I say and you're like, oh, I do it a little different, this is an idea that might be helpful for others, feel free to throw it up in the chat. But whenever I enroll somebody, I've found that for myself and for that person, when I am actually enrolling them, it's really important that I schedule the membership overview right away. So when I'm on the phone call with them, or when I'm in person entering it in, basically what I'll say to them is, or maybe I'm at a class and I got their form. It's like after they've given me the form or after we've entered the enrollment and all of that's taken place, I like to tell them what to expect, because people already have that question. Sometimes people will even ask me, they'll say like, so when do I get it in the mail? Or like, they're like kind of just like, what happens now? Like, I gave you my card, what happens now, sort of thing. And so I will just say to them, so what's going to, even before they ask, now what I'll say is, what's going to happen is we're going to process this, and then you're going to get an email right away from doTERRA with the invoice. And then shortly thereafter, as soon as they ship it out, you'll get another email. So they'll tell you when they've shipped it, you can track it, all that kind of stuff, but you should get it probably within like 4 to 5 business days, if not a little bit quicker. And I always love to meet with you right away. I want to give you a little welcome packet when we meet, or maybe I'll mail one depending. And then I want to like walk you through the oils that you got and help you feel confident in starting to use them for your goals. So then I'll like personalize it. So like, the one I just did a membership overview today, and when I scheduled it with her, I said, when we talk, we'll go through a plan on how you can start using your oils to support Leo, your little baby, with supporting his immune system and keeping him well. Or if he gets sick, then we'll walk through some of my like favorite things to do. I'm also going to show you the LDC Facebook page, which is a huge resource, and I'm going to show you how to like get really quick answers from it. So when something comes up, then you know right where to go to find answers. And then the last thing I'll show you is how to log into your doTERRA website and be able to use it to get the most stuff for free. This last month when I enrolled people, I said, I'm going to show you how to use your $50 free that you got. And so then I just like, I'll look at my schedule. And one tip that I think is helpful is I usually will say to them, I have this time available or this time, and I give them options. And then when you can start from that, like this or this, it's really helpful. I don't know if any of you are like me, but in the beginning, I would just kind of like open up a can of worms and I'd be like, so what times work for you? And I'll just tell you, like, you can do that, but you're going to burn yourself out over time if you do that, because you're just going to be catering to other people nonstop, and it's hard to do that. And so, yes, there are times that I schedule membership overviews that are not really ideal for me and my family, but it's more of a rarity now. I almost always try to schedule my membership overviews during the day because night times are more rare for me with classes or with kids or all the things that happen in evenings, church stuff. So I prefer to schedule mine during the day at this point in my life. So give options. And even if you have in your brain, like these are the time blocks that I like to schedule my membership overviews. Like if you have that already pre-made up in your head, so then when you talk to your customer, you can give them options from that as a starting point. And
you're doing this while you're enrolling them.
Yeah, I'm doing this while I enroll them, which is so great because I'm telling you guys, like even me, like I've been doing this how long, right? Like 4 or 5 years. If I don't schedule it right then, it is so easy for me to forget. Or then I'll do it and it'll be like 2 weeks later and then they don't respond to me. Or then I'm like texting them, like it just is so annoying to me now. I'm like, no, I always schedule it right away when I enroll them because otherwise it becomes another thing to add to my to-do list. And then the second thing that I wanted to talk about is when I have the actual call, I always start and I say what to expect. So I say call because I did a call today, but sometimes it's in person if it can be. But I always tell them, so today while we meet, I'm going to talk about first, I want to go through your goals and any questions you have. We'll make out a plan for you to start using your oils. And then I want to show you the LDC, like I remind them again what I want to talk to them about. And then at the end, I'm going to show you how to use your account. And when I'm actually having the membership overview with them, if you haven't already gotten really confident with explaining LRP, I encourage you to practice that. One of the easiest ways to practice is go to the LDC, to one of the most watched videos ever, Melissa Christopher's video on the loyalty rewards program, and just watch it on repeat because she explains it so, so well. And I'm telling you, like, if you don't explain verbally to your person and like transfer that belief from you, like they trust you, they don't trust Melissa Christopher necessarily. So if they hear you tell them about how awesome LRP is, and then later to give them like a repeat, so they like learn more, all the lingo again. And we all know what it's like to be new in doTERRA, and we're like, what LRP, PB, it's confusing the first time you hear it, even if the person you learned it from is like confident and knows it really well. So it's important to have you transfer that belief that it's valuable to do it that way. And that's really the biggest reason I explain LRP to them. I want them to leave the conversation thinking like, when I order next, I'm doing LRP because it sounds like that's the way you get it most for free. Like even if they don't understand all the ins and outs, I just want them to know that. And then in the future, you can invite them to things like the how to get the most out of your membership class that we're having this Wednesday night. Or you can tag them in the LRP video that Melissa does, or the FAQ section where it talks about LRP. So anyways, that is just like some simple things that I wanted to touch on. So we all have those things fresh in our brains as we have these conversations throughout this month and into January with new enrollments you get from December. Because this is really where the rubber meets the road and where you're building that residual income. Tyler, he didn't decide for sure, but I'm really excited, and so I'm going to talk about it. He's hopefully in January going to do a little live Facebook series on the Wellness Leaders page and talk about residual income and the value of residual income. His brain just works a lot different than mine and probably a lot different than yours as well, and so I know you guys will love it. Anyways, like, what was I going to say with that? Basically, residual income is such a gift. And when we're doing this process of like teaching and empowering and continuing to build that foundation of trust, helping our customers to build results, that really is some of the easiest and some of the most fun work that we can do in our business. And so just like perfect it, like get really good at it and make it like your new challenge for yourself in December and January and on.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Y'all are amazing.
Yes. So I don't know where to start. Okay, we're going to start. We don't do this every month because we're not like all about ranks. We're not all about top enrollers, but we're going to do it this month. Really what we're about is what Kristen just shared, is like we're about empowering people and about action. And who knows, like sometimes you take lots of action in a month and you don't necessarily see a lot of fruit from it, but then eventually like
it catches up to you.
Yes, it catches up. Okay, so we're going to talk about rank advancements first. Actually, I'm going to start down here. There were on the LDC 119 new members added in the month of November, which is awesome. Like you guys did amazing.
We're getting really close to 3,000.
Yes, we'll talk about that more later. So rank advancements, there were 13 new managers on the LDC, 5 new directors, also 5 executives, and 6 brand new elites: Lisa Bose Nelson, Bobby Trumbull, Marie Hansen, Amber Byers, Mary Johnson, and Jocelyn Doyle all hit elite for the first month. Awesome.
The thing that I wanted to say to all you guys that have hit elite, like when you hit elite, that is like the foundation of so many different ranks. So when you have hit elite, you then know how to help other people hit elite. And when you help 3 other people hit elite, then you hit the rank of silver, which is, you know, like 3 silvers is platinum, 4 silvers is diamond, and on and on and on. So anyways, elite is the foundation of everything. So that's a big deal for those 6 of you. Way to go. We have 2 brand new premieres. You guys probably saw my post on Facebook. 2 amazing women, Emily Wolf and Rachel Taylor, and I'm just so excited for them. So excited for them. And then we have an incredible new silver, which like this, I mean, it's like a no-brainer to me. Like in my mind, like she hit this month and I'm like, wait, she's not silver yet? Like, because in my mind, she's already like I already see her like that. Megan Nankoval is an incredible educator and has been pouring into her tribe in so many different creative and fun ways. And her whole, the whole LDC, you guys have probably seen her post. Like she always has like the most creative, fun PT ideas
questions, she's on them.
Yes, it's amazing. So proud of her. Tyler talks about having 119 new members from November. So there was 19 of you that had 1 enrollment, which is incredible. Like enrolling 1 person, that's like 1 person that you're gonna like create incredible testimonies and ripples in their life and in their family's life. 13 of you had 2 enrollments. 7 of you had 3 enrollments. And then Sharon Boren and Marie Hansen both had 4 enrollments. Gretchen Korf, Rachel Taylor, Lisa Bose Nelson all had 5 enrollments. And then Emily Paulson.
Kristen and Emily were having a little bit of a friendly competition.
Well,
It was.
I was trying.
Yes. And then Emily just kind of
the end of the month, she just blew me out of the water. I was like, I'm gonna get 1 more and then I'll be tied with Emily, and then she's like bam bam bam, 3 more enrollments. So Emily is crushing it. 9
enrollments in November, which is
so incredible.
So awesome.
So I was actually thinking about this today. We will have her and all her woo-ness at some point sharing on one of these calls about how to network, because I was thinking back to those networking calls and I'm like, why did I not just have Emily teach them? Yeah.
Okay. Great job, guys. Oh, I've got like
we have a bunch of others.
Okay.
Quick.
I'm going to read these as quickly as I can. Sorry. Okay. I'm just going to read these as they were sent to me. Okay. Kelsey Vandenbrink. I don't know if Kelsey's on. She's 36 weeks pregnant, maybe 37 now. She got an enrollment at 11 p.m. on the 30th, which got her empowerment bonus. And she's obviously 30 weeks pregnant. So she just didn't give up until the end. And she got an enrollment. Amber Byers has a really empowered customer she's impacted and has been using that to keep pushing forward, even through lots of no's and lots of challenges. Mm-hmm.
Those no's eventually change.
Yes. Don Stee and Stacy Meehan teamed up to host their first Oil Camp 2, which is awesome. And they had to cut off registration at 30 people because it was getting like there were getting to be too many people in oil camp too.
So awesome.
Really awesome.
Hmm.
Audrey Stake has 3 brand new elites that are brand new enrollments that hit elite, and which means that's part of the compensation plan. So she's going to get extra shares for each person that hit elite for the first time, which is awesome.
So when you're silver, you normally hit silver with 3 personally enrolled elites, which Audrey's already been silver. But then she had 3 brand new enrollments that hit elite, which is like unheard of.
Awesome.
Which means how much is each share usually?
$150.
It's usually like $150 for a share. And so
the enrollment are brand new, but the people, the builders are new to the rank of elite.
Right.
Yes, exactly.
Sorry, it's making it sound like they enrolled and then like went right to elite.
Oh,
they
thanks.
Like, make it happen.
Thanks.
No.
I like emphasize that just because it's like a whole new level of determination to like rebuild with a new builder. But I love that doTERRA's compensation plan like rewards you for that.
Yeah. Jada Dobish enrolled a customer 4 days into Oil Camp 1. Helped her get her oils really quick and plugged her in, and she ended up completing the whole oil camp and earning a top prize. This girl will be sharing or building soon, no doubt.
Love it, Jada.
We already talked about Emily Paulson, but she had 9 enrollments in 10 days. I didn't realize that. That's awesome. I'd like to know how many of those were within like the last 6 hours of the month, because it seemed like lots of them were. Audrey Stake just said, I'm so stinking proud of my whole team this month. And always, of course, we had 20 new members added. Marie pushed so hard and enrolled 4. Lisa had 5 and helped her builder get 1 as well. Just an awesome month of sharing and empowering. These are fun.
Dawn says that several builders on our team had enrollments, but it's real exciting that a new builder, Brenda Reynolds, signed up 2 new people with kits. Christina Clark did great guiding and supporting Brenda along with her new customers. That's awesome.
Lynette had 2 enrollments this month. She's always eager to learn and get her team involved in education. Megan hit silver. We talked about that. Her consistency in the biz and support for her team sure shines. And AJ had a 294 PV enrollment who's very interested in sharing. She also hit executive. AJ sees the amazing potential of residual income and invests any extra time she has creating an oil family. So awesome.
And then Michelle O'Connor said that Brenda Cam came with her to the oils workshop at USD, and it was huge support, both with oils and moral support. And I think we can all vouch for how incredible it is to have like other people that are doing it with you. And yeah, that's awesome. Helping you as you're being vulnerable, and also to step out there and empower lots of people. That's awesome. Really cool stuff.
I'm sure there's more, but that's all I have.
Yeah.
Okay, let's quickly do some announcements, and then we can stop the recording, and then we'll do some Q&A.
So the most important thing that I want you guys all to know is for the month of December, Melissa and I have been scheming and we are planning to do 12 days of giveaways in the LDC. So I like to like every quarter or every half year do like something fun that adds a lot of value in the LDC, either giveaways or just fun education. And so that's what it's going to be focused on. We're going to talk a lot about frankincense, a lot about self-care, and some about adaptive as well. So just like lots of self-care things for people during the holidays. And it will be really fun with giveaways and stuff from all of our Silvers Plus leaders on our team. So make sure you're like tagging your team, getting them involved, looking for ways that they can win some of the free stuff and get like reconnected to the education that's on the LDC. Yeah, it's going to start on December 12th, I want to say. Let me just look at my calendar.
Yeah, Thursday, December 12th, 12 days of giveaways.
Perfect. So it'll stop on the 23rd, shortly before Christmas. There's just a reminder, you guys probably all remember this, there's more holiday piece hand wash right now. before it runs out again. And then the herbal tea collection is now available, and then the Yarrow Palm travel collection. If you processed an LRP order with any of those products, any of the holiday products, make sure you go back in and edit your order and add stuff into it so your cart is set at 100 PV. I know a lot of you guys are enrolling, so you really want to make sure your template is saved at 100 always, so you don't miss out on any of your commission.
Yeah.
The Zendocrine Complex is back in stock, and so we'll be doing some education about that at the end of the month in December as well. But that is an incredible supplement to be taken advantage of, especially through the holidays.
I think the biggest announcement is with all these enrollments, make sure you're scheduling membership overviews. If they absolutely can't happen before Christmas, do something to connect with these people to make sure that they're at least like opening their oils, trying their stuff, using their things, and then just keep in touch with them into January to make sure that they are connected to the LDC Facebook page and know how to use their account and everything.
Yeah. If your Upline Silver is running an oil camp, we are waiting till January, but I've already been building excitement with my enrollments and asking them if they want to join for the one in January. So it's like, I know they're busy right now, and I've been saying that. Like, I know life is really busy as we lead up to the holidays, but I want to make sure you know how to use the oils you got in your kit. And then I invite them to oil camp. And so that's been great. And I encourage you to do the same. And then throughout Christmas and New Year's, we're obviously going to be able to, like, leading up to it from experience, Melissa, a lot of you guys can testify to this, but like basically the week of Christmas, I feel like things like slowly start to shut down and people like aren't as available, obviously. So really setting goals for yourself for the first couple weeks of the month, and then right after Christmas to touch base with people about the frankincense promo and have classes to teach with that in mind. And also just thinking of ways that you can be creative in relationships as you're doing like fun Christmas things. Like I know at Thanksgiving, we had a Friendsgiving with a bunch of friends, and I brought my Terrazyme and I passed it around to everybody at the table. And we talked about that last Monday, but I encourage you, like, just think outside the box of ways that you can share experiences with people and love on them well, be generous, and let them have an experience with the gift that your family has.
Hand aroma touches for family members.
Yeah, hand aroma touches for family members. If you're seeing like elderly grandparents or something like that, that's a sweet way to connect with them. Like, I mean, before in the past, I've even brought my massage table to my in-laws' house, and I've given actual aroma touches to like my sister-in-law and stuff like that as part of their Christmas gift. So that's a great way to, just think outside of the box, love people well, and use your oils during the time. Oh, Dawn, this looks like it. Oh, this is so good. She was nursing family members totally these last 4 days. So in love with these solutions. Yeah, that's so good. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and stop the recording and we'll talk through questions. Or did you want to say something else?